欢迎来到我的课堂，我是王磊。Welcome to my class. I'm 王磊。今天我们学习拼音单元中的韵母。Today we will learn the finals of the pinyin unit. The target of this class is to learn the pronunciation of finals and how to combine initials and finals. There are 28 finals in Chinese, and they are classified into 5 types. The first type is simple final, which means there is only one vowel of each final. Now please listen. A, A, O, O, I, U, U, U. The second type is compound final, which is composed of 2 simple finals. The pronunciation of compound final is a combination of 2 simple finals. For example, I is composed of A and I. So, this compound final is pronounced as I. Now listen carefully. I, ow, ow, o, o, a, ya, ya, yeah, yeah, wa, wa, wo, wo, yue, yue. The third type is triple final. Triple final is composed of a simple final and a compound final. The pronunciation of triple final is a combination of the simple final and compound final. For example, Yao is composed of a simple final I and a compound final Ao. So this triple final is pronounced as Yao, Yao. Now please listen. Yao, Yao, Yo, You, Y, Y, Wei, Wei. The first type is called nasal final, which means there will be nasal of each final. Now please listen. An, on, 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 n, in, yin, yan, yang, wan, wang, wen, wong, 冤冤晕晕庸庸。The last type is special finer. Please listen. 呃 uh, 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 uh. Now let's start to learn from simple finers. Simple finer is a basic finer in Chinese pinyin system. There is at least one simple finer in each pinyin. The first simple finer is ah, ah. Here are the combinations of different initials and simple finer ah. I will show you examples of these syllables with a flat tone. Please listen. 八八啪啪妈妈发发哒哒他他那那啦啦嘎嘎咔咔喳喳啪啪喳喳喳喳擦擦撒撒。The second simple final is or. Examples with a flat tone. 波波坡坡摸摸波佛。The third simple final is examples with flat tone. 的的特特呢呢了了哥哥科科呵呵这这车车热热热热the the first one is e examples with first tones. B B P P me me D D T T ni ni li li ji ji qi qi xi xi。 Now let's look at this one. It is a special finer, but it is shown exactly like simple finer E, but the pronunciation is different. This one, this one, and this simple finer only appears in these two groups. So we can memorize the pronunciation in the groups. Now please listen. 知知吃吃吃吃日日 This one. 滋滋呲呲呲呲 Now let's learn simple finers u and ü. U. Examples with flat tone. Bu, bu, pu, pu, mu, mu, fu, fu, du, du, tu, tu, nu, nu, lu, lu, gu, gu, ku, ku, hu, hu, zhu, zhu, chu, chu, shu, shu, ru, ru, zu, zu, cu, cu, su, su. The last simple finer is ü, ü. Compared to u, ü has a pair of eyes. And simple finer ü can be only composed with ji, qi, and xi. And one thing you must focus, when ü is composed with ji, qi, xi, the eyes of ü must be removed. Now look at the examples. 知知区区虚虚 Although it looks like u here, but it is still ü, ü. These are the combinations of all the initials and the simple finers. Please practice them with certain tones. Now let's learn the pronunciation of compound finers and other finers. I will give you 4 syllables with different tones of each final. Please listen carefully. I, by,排，排，买，买，耐，耐，凹，凹，包，包，刨，刨，卯，卯，闹，闹，欧，欧，剖，剖，谋，谋，搂，搂，瘦，瘦，压，压， 家家狭狭卡卡架架耶耶憋憋结结写写切切挖挖刮刮滑滑爪爪胯胯窝窝多多驼驼裸裸做做约约约约月月 Here we should pay attention to the finals beginning with yu when used without an initial. We should add a e before yu, and meanwhile, the eyes of yu should be removed. For example, this one. 约 it is supposed to be 约 but there is no initial here, so we need to put an e here first and then remove the eyes of yu. So it's 约约 here. It is supposed to be 月 There is no initial here, so we need to add e. Then remove the eyes of yu, then it becomes 月月. Please focus on you and we. There is a spelling rule. When used after an initial, the middle vowel should be removed. Look at the examples. 丢 here it is supposed to be 丢, while there is an initial, so we should remove the middle vowel. So it is 丢. Same here. 龟 it is supposed to be 龟. Then remove the vowel. It is 龟. Now please listen to the pronunciation of nasal finals. Listen carefully. 安安班班盘盘满满饭饭昂昂帮帮旁旁莽莽放放恩恩喷喷门门肯肯恨恨砰砰蒙蒙 冷冷正正阴阴冰冰平平敏敏静静应应冰冰平平请请姓姓烟烟边边偏偏绵绵见见央央将将强强想想亮亮弯弯关关还还款款转转汪汪光光黄黄闯闯撞撞温温蹲蹲轮轮滚滚顺顺嗡嗡嗡嗡瓮瓮 There are also spelling rules here. The first one, when used after an initial, this vowel should be removed, just like we and you. Example, 蹲 it is supposed to be 蹲, and we need to remove this vowel, and then it is 蹲. The second rule is about the finals beginning with u. When used without an initial, u should be written as the English letter W, but the pronunciation is still u, so as a whole, wong, wong, here, wong, wong. Continue the nasal finals. Listen carefully. Yuan, yuan, juan, juan, quan, quan, xuan, xuan, juan, juan. Here we should remember the eyes of yu should be removed when it is composed with ji, qi, xi. So in those pinyin, there is no eyes on letter yu. Now look at yun, 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 yun. Here there is a same spelling rule with yue. So the finals beginning with yu, when used without an initial, we should add e before yu, and meanwhile remove the eyes of yu. So here it is 晕晕 Here continues the nasal fires. Listen. Ong, ong, dong, dong, tong, tong, long, long, zhong, zhong, yong, yong, xiong, xiong, 穷穷囧囧 So much for the learning. Now let's look at the summary. Please listen again. A, O, I, U, Ü, Ao, I, N, on, O, ong, A, N, eng, ya, ye, yin, ying, yao, yin, you, yang, wa, wo, wun, wai, wan, we, wun, wong, 约、晕、渊、庸。